This is Justin Wisdom on Thursday, September 23rd, 2021. Taking a look at the 5-minute here. We had a continued move up and kind of did an S curve, but kind of just did like a really good consolidation in here right along the 21, pushed higher, and then did it again. And this time we really just pretty much went flat and then a little bit down right at the close. So really good day overall. We did start to kind of retest right here into the highs from back at the top of that triangle. So we'll see if we can get more of a bounce and start off tomorrow doing the same thing, running on up. Just stay bullish today was really the only message I can convey. So these higher lows through here on this option, the 3450 call, were relative lows here and lower highs here. So yeah, this is a good reason when you're seeing this happening, just either if you want to go bearish, wait for a clear break, a retest, and then go. And we weren't seeing that at all. But on the positive side, on the bullish side here, we did get that kind of push up, a retest, didn't quite come back down that far, but we did get some places where it was bouncing. After it broke out, we were making slightly lower highs here until obviously we broke out. So seeing the same thing on the bullish side on the calls and on the 5-minute chart and on the calls is what I was trying to say. So the only issue I had with this 3450 is even if you had bought the low down here around maybe 3 or so, it wouldn't have it didn't run up to 7, which would have been, a good target for Thursday would be 4R. So you're looking for 7. If you were looking for 7, it didn't get there and you held through this kind of a retracement and then it pushed back up to 6, probably just get out at 6. Actually, it didn't even hit 6 there. You would have had to wait till over here to get out at 6 for 3R. Probably after this pulls back, you would tighten up your stop. Possibly you got trailed out for maybe a little more than an R, around 450, something like that. If you had your stop there, or if you're trailing it up, maybe you got out at like 5 for 2 Rs. Or you can move and look at an option that's a little bit closer, like the 3425. This one was okay. It just got a little bit dicier because we weren't making those relative lows. We were making slightly higher lows. And I mean, these two are relative to each other, but then this one didn't quite come back down to the same level here. I guess it's possible to be buying like at 9 because this was, let's see, this was at 8, this was 8, and then this was 830. So I don't know if I would have set up to buy at 9 and a stop at 8 when it had hit 8 here. So I probably would have been looking for it to come down to 8 again and would have missed it. But then for a 4-hour move, 8 up to 12, that's right when it's starting to break out. This is one of those where you can cancel the target, get the stop trailed up to 8, which actually would have worked pretty well. I'm sorry, the stop trailed up to 12, which would have worked pretty well till this happened. It may have been stopped up there, but get your target up further, which probably would have gone from 12 up to 16, and that would have hit that target here. So this was a really good continuation, and it just depends on the option. You can look at the other options in between 3425, 3450. You can look at next week's options and see how they moved. But you did have this same kind of lower highs through here, relative lows, and that kind of compression. The only thing that wasn't cooperating at all was the RSI. It was just a very strong day. And so you can't take the signal like the head and shoulders shape that this RSI has as somewhat of a reversal. It's continuing to make higher highs. It's staying above the 5. It's staying, holding above the 21. And then we didn't really even, I guess this candle technically kind of closed below the 21, but we really just rode the 21 or we rode the 5. Either way, it's just stay bullish. And then this time where we actually pulled all the way down, right through here, this was actually kind of a good time to be looking for one of those entries, but you would have had to hold through a lot of chop if you weren't just in and out real quick. So this would have been one, even if you had gotten in at, and I'm sorry, I said buying at 8 here up to 12, but that wasn't quite the right explanation because you couldn't buy at 8 and get to 12. It would have been would have been buying 850, I guess, is the only other thing you could have done. 850 to 1250 and move that up to 1650, and that all would have worked. But I mean, that's probably when you would have needed to be a little more lucky than good to have that exact setup. But if you had done something over here where you're buying again like 850, something like that, and a target of 1250, didn't quite get high enough. So a 4-arm move right here would not have filled that target, and then it didn't get back up there again until way over here. So like I said, you're holding through a lot of chop, or you're just scalping and getting out. But yeah, that was buying off of the RSI being oversold and getting in, right kind of at the bottom of this, right as it's starting to look like it's breaking below the 21 and then recovers. But again, this is kind of the, this candle, if you look at the flip side, well, if we've broken down, now we're retesting, we're getting back into the 21, well, we should just roll over. So let me get in bearish. Let me get in bearish right in here. And so I'll buy, let's see, I'll buy that candle. But I guess if you had bought that candle, you're buying right at this resistance on the put. So wait for it to pull back. You're buying here, it starts to move, and then it rolls over. You still had some room to kind of get out before it actually took out your stop, but it just depends on what your setup would be for a bearish move. But you did have enough choppiness in here that you could have scalped in either direction, if that's what you're looking to do. So anyway, like I said, we'll see if we do have a move back up tomorrow. This pulling back right in here, see if we follow the cursor along, we're right back into the highs. We're kind of doing that with the open today. We were pretty flat here, but we were right in with these highs that we had just barely nudged above yesterday, and then kind of did the S-curve thing and launched off that point today with the 21. So that's what I'm saying. If we can do that again here, it means kind of getting back above the 21 and getting a bigger move back up. We are a little ways away from the 33.6680 price. So we, chopped around in there for a bit, and now we're moving back up. So while I'm zoomed out like this, you can see there's kind of a bigger pattern here where we've just got this consolidation. So instead of making, obviously we're still inside, we're above this candle that we were inside of for 2 days. So we are breaking out above this. We could just run up and close this gap. That's the next target, really, is the closing price from this day, which was 34.6252. And you can see that instead of this being like a triangle here, looking at this, it is a triangle, but it's making kind of relative highs and higher lows. And here we are breaking out. So again, if we can do that sort of a retest, if we can bounce off the 21 or get back into the 21 here and continue on the 5-minute, or we can have a little more of a pullback down to maybe 33.85, 33.80, and bounce off of the highs we put in here. You could see that as a bigger S curve and a move back up. So what I'm trying to describe is, get the drawing tool again. It's not letting me use the drawing tool. There we go. Like that and like that. And then one way to do it is something like that, or we could come back down to this line and go back up. Or like I said, we could just push back up, get back into this price that we had gapped down from the other day and close that gap, and then we'll kind of reevaluate. So up, down, or I guess sideways, right? So hope this helps. This is just AMZN.